I don't know about you, but when I was a child, I was terrified of the dark and I was afraid of what might have been under the bed. The interesting thing is, I never actually looked. This is how shadow work works. Let's get into it. Hey there, I am Jessa. I am a South American trained shaman. I have been working with Amazon plant medicine and Andean spiritual cosmology for nearly a decade. I'm also a Tantra coach, an alchemist, a channel, and an all around cosmic witch. So let's talk about it. Shadow work is one of the most misunderstood parts of awakening. It is often framed as, something dark, dangerous, or overwhelming, something you need protection from. And because of that framing, many people avoid it. They spiritualize around it, they outsource it to practices meant to keep them comfortable. But what's actually running our lives is rarely what we refuse to see. It's what we never learned how to look at safely. When we were children, the fear made sense. The room was dark, your body was small, imagination filled in the unknown. So we reached for what made us safe: a teddy bear, a blanket, a parent. These were external regulators. They helped us survive a nervous system that did not yet have capacity. The monster under the bed wasn't real, but your fear certainly was. As adults, the room is no longer dark. We have language, agency, resources, and we have choices. And yet, many of us still relate to the inner world as if we are small, trapped, and unsafe. So instead of turning on the light, we reach for adult versions of the teddy bear. This can be distractions or spiritual bypass, anything that makes you comfortable, or substances, teachers, gurus, partners, belief systems, not because we're weak, but because a younger part of us learned that safety comes from not looking under the bed. As adults, this is not looking internally. And here's the thing about it: the shadow is not evil. It is not darkness for the sake of darkness. The shadow is made of unmet needs, unexpressed emotions, survival strategies, that maybe worked at one point, or parts of us that adapted in isolation. These parts didn't get integrated because there was no one there to help us look. So they went under the bed. What has been running your programming is the child that is afraid of the dark or afraid of the unseen monster, and the part of you that stepped up to keep that child safe. The protector part of you was put into place at the same age that the child determined the world was not safe. Neither of these parts have a mature perspective. When people talk about a dysregulated nervous system, this is what they are actually talking about. It is a nervous system that is stuck in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn from a program that was put into place by a version of you between the ages of 3 and, let's say, 20. These reactionary parts don't just go away. This is why so many self help programs and often even counseling don't work. They focus on changing behaviors instead of healing what is at the root. What allows us to have access to these subconscious parts that are running our program is to turn on the light. So, how do you turn on the light? Shadow work is not about fighting the monster, and it's not about reliving the experience that traumatized you to begin with. It is about turning on the light. And here is the key distinction: we don't force the child to look, we bring the adult into the room, the adult that is now you. That adult has nervous system capacity. It has discernment, choice, and most importantly, it has presence. When the light comes on, the monster doesn't disappear because it was evil, it dissolves because it was unknown. This is bringing the light into your own truth to reveal what you have kept secret from yourself. When you start getting into shadow work, you might start to notice how it feels in the body. This oftentimes feels like fear without a clear story. You can start to notice tightening or panic in the chest or in the belly, in the heart chakra, a sense of, I don't want to see this. It's not because there is danger present, it is because memories exist. When the adult stays present, the body learns something new. That awareness doesn't equal annihilation, that presence is enough. This is how we time leap. This is how we time travel. It is the future you from your past coming in to be the hero that you needed at the time. What changes when the light comes on? When shadow material is seen and met, the nervous system settles, reactivity decreases, you start responding instead of reacting, and your optimal choice returns. The shadow stops running the show, not because it was conquered, but because it no longer needs to hide. This is true integration. Your power returns without aggression. Clarity returns without people pleasing and without collapse. Shadow work becomes unavoidable after the moment of awakening, not because awakening has failed, but because awareness is now online. The light is already on. Shadow work is simply learning how to stay in the room without abandoning the parts of yourself that were afraid to be seen before. As a child, you needed the teddy bear. It was appropriate. As an adult, your presence is the protection. The monster under the bed was never the problem. The darkness was. You don't need a defender anymore. You need your own presence. You need to show up as the adult that younger child once hoped would be there. Hey, so if this resonated, visit my website at jessafreimeyer.com to explore upcoming courses, free offerings, and don't forget to click the buttons. New videos on spiritual leadership, desire alchemy, and embodied transformation every week. See you next time.